Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Terima kasih kerana masih lagi bersama saya. Ini persoalan yang ditanya kepada saya oleh Prof. Herba, dan juga semalam ada salah satu kenalan saya tanya saya sama ada kita ditanya my opinion on herbs and modern medicine kan, jadi saya katakan dia is immaterial from where the medicine comes from. It is not the medicine that will help in healing process, but actually it is the person who uses the medicine. Jadi kalau kata saya senang dengan menggunakan ubat-ubat moden, maka saya guna ubat moden lebih daripada saya guna herbs, kerana saya tak faham. It is the craftiness of the practitioner actually that treats the person, is not the medicine itself. Because ubat ni boleh guna untuk berbagai-bagai penyakit. Satu Panadol for example kan, Panadol saya boleh guna untuk tahan sakit kepala. Saya boleh guna Panadol untuk demam because dia boleh kurangkan suhu badan. Saya boleh guna untuk sakit senggugut. Saya boleh guna untuk sakit belakang kan, jadi banyak kegunaan dia. Tapi kerana saya faham jalan ubat Panadol ni, maka saya boleh pilih menggunakan dari pelbagai cara lah kan. Sama juga dengan pokok. Pokok boleh diguna dengan pelbagai cara kerana kita tahu sifat dia. Bila kita faham sifat dia, maka kita bolehlah guna. We can use them in whatever way we think is suitable. So to me, there is no inhibition in using either herbs or orang kata chemical compounds kan, either a compound medicine, an extract, or a monomolecular medicine. It is all based on the knowledge of the person who gives the medicine, not the medicine itself. It is how much you know. So what I'm going to explain to you is the value of what is in the medicine and how kita boleh kenal kegunaan dia. This is going back to the basic principles of ancient medicine, which is more holistic in approach than in modern medicine, because modern medicine works at the molecular level, at the mitochondrial level, at the DNA level, which is not easy for the ordinary people to interpret. But when you look at the bigger picture, you may be able to understand better and make use of things and balance things off instead of making mistakes all the time. So bila kita nak buat ubat, kita kena ada ilmu tubuh manusia yang normal, that is anatomy, physiology. Kita kena ada ilmu penjagaan kesihatan badan, kita kena ada ilmu penyakit dan jalan penyakit, pathology and pathophysiology, dan ilmu menyembuhkan penyakit. Kalau kita tak ada ilmu ni semua, maka kita tak boleh merawat orang. You can be a researcher and research on any things that you want to do, any disease that you want to do, but because you don't understand the condition in the human body, you may not be able to treat it as well as doctors do. Because what is in the petri dish is not the same as what is in the body. There are many factors that affect a compound in the body that it is not affected in the petri dish. When you're looking at cell line effects, it may be 5,000 times better than the chemotherapeutic that we have, but then it may not be the same in the human body because it works differently. And different individuals has got different characteristics that would modify the effects of it. And knowing and understanding this is the only way you can make the right medicine. So in the ancient world, they talk about 5 elements. Space, or in the Indian it's called Akash. The space, the air, the fire, the water, and the earth. This is not literally meaning that. It does not mean you are talking about earth. Oh, ada dalam badan kita ada tanah, ada api, ada air, ada angin, kan dalam badan kita. Tapi it is an easier way to make people understand that the earth means all the solid things that you have in the body. And then the water is all the liquid. The air in the body can be the physical air, or can be something that moves like air in the body. And then fire is the energy. But without space, nothing moves. I think this is basic chemistry I learned when I was in school. Okay? So it is just explaining the different state of matter with energy added to it. So you have the 3 states of matter: solid, liquid, and gas. And then you have the energy that moves everything around. Without heat, nothing moves. So that is what it is all about. So it's not rocket science, nothing very, very fantastic about it. It's just, when you understand that, then you know, okay, now we can think of the properties. So they kata, what is within is also without. What you have inside you is also in the universe. So in the universe, it's a bigger thing. What is inside you is at the micro level. I am not good at using terms. That it's difficult for people to understand the microcosm and macrocosm. So what is outside is big, what is inside is small. Jadi you know, kata kita ni is, what is our body is the small form of the universe. So we have all the 5 elements in our body, just as the universe has 5 elements in the body, which is air, water, fire, and space. And the proportion is the same as the earth and what is outside and what is inside. We are made up of about 72% of water and 12% of solid, and then the 6% of air, 4% energy, api, dan 6% ruang. This is taken from an Indian Swami, pendeta India, yang menceritakan pada saya melalui YouTube lah, kan? Mana I be trying to figure out macam mana, pasal tak ada guru-guru yang boleh menceritakan tentang the proportions of all these things in the body. Jadi bila saya go through this, I can't remember. I am very poor at remembering names. Jadi dia menceritakan gitulah. Kata 72% of your body is water, which is why we study in physiology anyway. So 12% water, earth, 6% air, 6% space, and 4% fire. That makes 100%. And this moves inside. But what moves are 3 elements: angin, api, dengan air. Tanah tak bergerak. What is solid does not move unless you apply force on it. This is physics, kan? And then when you don't apply force on the solid, it will not move. So the 3 things that are active in the body is the angin, the api, and the air. The air, the water, and the Apa? Fire. Okay? Jadi begitulah. This is the basic understanding of the human body, the working of the human body, the constituent of the human body, and how it works. What makes things move in the body is the fire, heat, Herba, panas, and moisture. So when you have enough heat, things will move. Without heat, dry things can move. Tapi you need moisture, you need water, where most of the chemical reaction occurs. Chemistry people will understand this. So you need a medium where things can move in easily, and then when you apply heat, then it will move. So ini penggerak dalam badan kita, panas dan lembab. Jadi kita classify people according to these three elements: angin, api dan air. Bila kita tengok orang tu, kita come to conclusion at the first appearance of the person in front of you. This is what the old practitioners would say. They assess you so that they ada an understanding of your constituent. Apa sifat badan you, kan? Jadi dia ada tiga: api, air dan angin. And then ini yang bawah ni damawi, balgami dan sudawi. Saya cakap kena minum, kalau tak nanti kering tekak saya tak keluar. I wonder, boleh dengar kan saya cakap not too close to the mic? Boleh eh? So, and then the other one is the Unani medicine, the Greco-Arabian medicine, the lower one, the four humours is basically the same as the four elements. Kan, Damawi, Balgami, Sudawi dengan Safrawi. So, mengikut tiga unsur tadi, the four elements, this is what people with these characteristics would appear to be. Orang yang sifat angin, sifat api dan sifat air, kita tengok diri kita, maka kita tahulah which category we are. It is important to know this so that the practitioner would have an idea of how to treat. Kan, Jadi kalau kata orang yang bersifat api ni, dia panas barang. Kan, Jadi kalau katalah dia ada penyakit, kata demam sejuk, example Jadi kita nak bagi ubat untuk bagi panas badan dia. Kalau kita bagi ubat yang terlalu panas, maka dia tak boleh duduk, dia gelabah. He will get very restless and then tak boleh duduk. Dia kata ubat ni terlalu panas bagi dia. Jadi kita kena bagi dia ubat yang panas tapi tak terlalu panas supaya dia boleh terima. Ataupun kita bagi ubat yang panas yang kita nak bagi dan kita bubuh something that will cool it down. Kan? Ini yang saya bertahun-tahun di Langkawi terfikir-fikir bila saya merawat orang Langkawi. Dia tanya saya, doktor, ubat ni panas ke sejuk? Berangin ke? Tidak. It makes me wonder, apa yang dia cakap ni? I don't understand what they're talking about. Ubat-ubat lah, tak ada lah, mana ada panas sejuk pula. Dia kata tak ada doktor, bila saya makan ubat ni dia jadi panas. Now I understand. Kan, Now I can categorize my modern medicine into ubat yang panas dan sejuk, yang angin, yang apa ni semua, based on things that I will tell you later. So this is ilmu firasat yang kita belajar untuk mengenal firasat manusia, tubuh badan manusia. But basically kan, it is not difficult. I think kalau saya bagi tahu macam mana kita nak fikir, kita fikir sendiri saja. Tak payahlah nak membacakan semua ni. Kan, kalau angin tu kita tahu angin, the air is light. The air moves faster than the water. Dia ringan dan dia cepat. Kan, tapi dia ada element of moisture dalam dia, jadi dia lembab. Dia tak sekering seperti api. Api dia panas dan dia kering. Dia tak ada moisture dalam api. Jadi dia punya sifat lain daripada sifat angin. That's why you see orang api itu kurus tapi taklah kurus sangat. Kan? Jadi yang air itu dia berat. Dia banyak air. Jadi dia berat. Okay? So you can actually, when you understand the sifat air, sifat api dan sifat angin, these are the characteristics of the people who are inclined to that sort of element. That is how kita come to conclude that way. It's very simple, kan? Tak ada complication lah. So this is apa ni namanya? If you want, I can share this slide with you, so you can sit down and read and see and try to understand what it is all about. Okay. And then dalam Yunani medicine, this is the Hippocratic and the Galen and the Ibn Sina punya ni, dia punya interpretation is based on darah. Jadi bila dia biar darah kita tu stand on its own, it is separated into 4 layers. So you have layer lapisan kuning yang dipanggil safrawi. Safra means yellow in Arabic. And then lapis putih is balgam. Balgam does not mean white in Arabic, tapi balgam is liquid, kan? And then you have lapisan merah tu is damawi, meaning blood. Dam is blood in Arabic. And then lapisan bawah tu yang gelap tu dia panggil sodawi tu. Sauda means black, kan, in Arabic. Jadi dia classify people into 4 different categories: safrawi, damawi, balghami dengan sodawi, kan? But basically they are all the same in terms of apa ni. Kalau dia kata safrawi ni sifat dia panas dan kering, sama dengan api. Okay? And dia kata masa aktif is 9 AM to 3 PM. Kalau kita tengok putaran dunia ni, 9 AM to 3 PM is when the sun rises and when the sun is dominant. So masa ni lah yang the Safrawi people will be active, kan, when the sun is dominant. And it is in the youthful age, kita more lebih pada panas dan kering. And then you have balghami is sejuk dan lembab, actually bukan basah, sejuk dan basah, which is water, kan? And then water ni dia sebelah petang lah, dan malam tu bila embun akan mula jatuh ke tanah tu semua tu, dia daripada pukul 9 malam hingga 3 pagi, kan? Ini orang tua saya lah, dah slow, kan? Mana dah slow tapi tak gemuk. Dah slow sikit. And then damawi is panas dan lembab, which is what? Air, angin, kan? So between 3 AM and 9 in the morning, when the sun is, mana you are feeling the heat of the sun as the sun is appearing in, kan? Masih belum lagi fajar lagi, pukul 3 pagi, tapi dah apa ni, kan? So that air element is inside, heat is coming in, but then it's still moist, kan? So this is in the children, kanak-kanak masih lagi mula nak membangun. This is how they interpret things into this pendidikan. And then sodawi is sejuk dan kering. Sejuk dan kering is sifat tanah. There is no heat in tanah and it is dry in tanah. There is no movement in tanah. Jadi it is between 3 PM to 9 PM at night, in the evening. Dan ini adalah melambangkan kematangan. That is how people interpret in the past on understanding sifat-sifat manusia. Saya minta maaf lah kalau I keep changing languages kan, sebab saya realize ada orang yang tak faham bahasa Melayu kan, tapi kita semua faham bahasa Melayu dan bahasa Inggeris, so I'm trying to accommodate that thing. Jadi that is the asas ancient medical science or ancient science, which is no different than what we understand today. The only thing is that we use a different term than they used before, but they describe the same thing as we describe today. Kan, when dia kata earth tu, mana dia kata benda yang solid. Bila dia kata water tu, dia bila dia kata water, dia kata benda yang liquid. Bila dia kata angin tu or air, dia kata the gaseous part. And when they say api, it's the energy. So it's a matter of rebranding aja kan, tapi ilmu tu yang sama, tak ada bezanya, understanding dia faham. Jadi tadi Prof Yong kata orang dulu tak tahu chemistry, dia kata maybe, but then I don't think so. They would understand the way we do. Kita punya brain, there is no major change in the brain of the human being daripada masa Allah Ta'ala cipta Nabi Adam sampai sekarang. The model is the same. Kita proton every year 2-3 kali kita tukar model kan, tapi manusia ni yang sama. That is why it makes our life easy as doctors to understand the old and the new kan, there is no change. So knowledge also there's no change. The only difference is that maybe sekarang ni kita punya technology is advanced in the sense that we don't store things on writings on the wall or carvings on the wall anymore. We store them in our handphone, we store them in our thumb drive, we store in our computer. But what if every of these things were destroyed? Nothing is left. So 1,000 years from now, people will say orang yang live in the 1900s or the 20s kan, ada ilmu. Asal tak ada lagi writings on the wall, no carvings on the wall, on the stones, that remains perpetually there. So kita anggapkan these people only have that knowledge up to that level because you don't have proof, because we are looking at proof. But the fact that we are advancing back to normal, to move in the normal way, that is basically what it's all about kan. Jadi kita go through that. Jadi kalau bahan-bahan ubatan yang kita guna, kita kena mengenal khasiat tumbuhan itu, mengenal penggunaan tumbuhan dalam rawatan, understand how it is being used in the treatment. Ilmu membuat, nak keluarkan khasiat dia tu daripada dalam bahan tu, dan ilmu merancang proses penyembuhan. Bila you dah faham penyakit, you faham macam mana jalan penyakit tu, maka you boleh rancang macam mana nak merawat daripada penyakit sehingga dia sembuh dan sehingga tidak mendatangkan balik penyakit. That is the line of thought of the old doctors, not the present doctors. This one I think I will skip lah. Khasiat dalam tumbuhan ni, maknanya basically banyak yang chemist and scientists kan, that they could understand. We have got makanan yang akan jadi sebahagian daripada badan kita, and these are the basic elements of building up the body, the carbohydrate, the proteins and the fat. That is how makanan is being defined. Bahan yang kita makan yang akan jadi sebahagian daripada badan kita kan, carbohydrate, protein and fats are the things that make up the body. And then micronutrients are bahan yang terlibat dalam proses metabolism dalam badan kan, dia mempercepatkan, they act as catalyst. Correct me if I'm wrong. They act as catalysts, vitamins and minerals. This is what I studied in medical school when I studied biochemistry. This is what I've been told. takut nanti kan ada new development that is people think differently than today kan. Banyak yang saya dapati anggapan yang lain daripada apa yang saya belajar dahulu, tapi I still use the old information which is I think still valid. So vitamins are the antioxidants, they have changed, and minerals are important elements in the metabolism, in maintaining good metabolic process in the body. And then you have the phytochemicals that will interfere in the process, either correct, either stimulate, or suppress activities inside at the receptor level. So these are the phytochemicals that is present in. Jadi dalam tumbuhan ni kita ada bahan makanan, kita ada bahan micronutrients, dan then kita ada bahan fitokimia yang membuat dia satu bahan yang komplit daripada untuk penjagaan kesihatan. Jadi maknanya kalau kita tengok gigi kita ni sama dengan gigi lembu, sama dengan gigi kambing, sama dengan gigi kerbau, sama dengan gigi kuda. Jadi binatang-binatang ini dia makan lebih sayur daripada lain. Tapi kepintaran manusia ni boleh makan, kita jadi omnivores because we are able to cook and pre-digest animal proteins and animal fats and animal carbohydrates to make it possible for our body to digest. Jadi we become omnivore instead of herbivores and not carnivores. Kan, ya? Carnivore in a different sense tu, ya. So, macam mana kita nak mengenalkan khasiat ubat-ubatan? Jangan kita cuba nak hafal lah apa yang kita boleh guna pokok-pokok satu-satu pokok. It's not easy to remember. When you reach my age, you will not be able to remember everything. Kan? Jadi, we have got to devise a system where we can understand how we can know the value of plants as medicine. One of the things that orang dulu guna is doctrine of signature. Daripada ciri-ciri pokok, rupa-rupa pokok tu, kita tengok persamaan dengan bahan-bahan ataupun organ-organ di dalam tubuh kita. Kan? For example, carrot lah. I think carrot, kita banyak orang bukan ni, banyak di dapur dia potong carrot cross section. Bila kita potong carrot, kita look at the cross section tu, and kita pergi ke cermin, kita tengok carrot, kita tengok mata kita, it looks like the iris. Kan? The carrot cross section of the carrot tu looks like the iris of the eye. So it is an indication that it has got value for the eye. Kan? Ataupun kalau kita tengok more close to us, kalau saya kata tutup bumi, ada orang kenal tak apa pokok tutup bumi? I think Prof lalu kenal tak pokok tutup bumi? I don't have the pictures here. Pokok tutup bumi ni dia duduk rapat pada bumi, kan? Dan daun dia tu macam bentuk pear ataupun bentuk avocado, right? So it is pear shape. Dia besar ke atas dan tirus ke bawah ni. And then kalau kita tengok pada urat dia tu, urat dia turun ke bawah. Bila kita pegang yang apa ni tu, the smaller level tu kat bawah and the bigger level atas tu, urat tu turun begitu ke dalam. So the interpretation of this is that it looks like the womb. Rupa dia macam rahim. Dan keadaan urat tu daripada luar dia masuk ke dalam dan ke bawah, maknanya as though it is pushing out. Jadi the interpretation is that you can use it to help in the process of delivery. Pasal apa dia mengecup? Dia tolak ke bawah dan keluar. That is how orang dulu kenal kegunaan pokok dengan tanda-tanda ciri-ciri pokok itu sama dengan ciri-ciri dalam tubuh manusia. So this is what we call doctrine of signature. And then this is actually the little chemistry lab that we have Allah Ta'ala bagi pada badan kita, lidah kita dan rasa yang ada. Sini saya bubuh 6 rasa, tapi kita ada yang sampai 11-12 jenis rasa yang berbeza, yang memberi kita apa ni, and this is more diagnostic actually, daripada rasa manis dan masam dan masin dan pedas dan pahit kan, dan kelapnya tu. Daripada situ kita boleh memberi sifat rasa tu. And it is not by remembering it, bukan cara kita nak ingat kata oh ini kata manis ni dia sejuk dan melembabkan. Kita bubuh dalam mulut, kita rasa apa dia tidak dalam mulut kita. Bila kita bubuh benda yang manis, kita rasa sejuk, dan dia excite salivation, jadi dia sejuk dan melembabkan. Bila kita bubuh benda yang pedas dalam mulut kita, kita rasa panas, betul tak? You rasa panas, jadi dia panas dan dia kering kan, dia mengeringkan. Kalau kita bubuh benda yang kelak dalam mulut kita, apa berlaku? Kita rasa apa? Kita rasa kering kan, lepas tu adakah kita rasa panas atau kita rasa sejuk? Kalau panas dia rasa macam pedas kan, tapi dia tak rasa panas, jadi dia tak panas lah, dia sejuk kan. That is how we interpret it. So you don't have to try to remember, because orang kita faham apa yang disebutkan dan apa hasil, apa dia sifat dia tu daripada itu saja. Jadi you don't have to track your brains to remember, but when you understand, you apply what you feel. Daripada situ, dan kita tahu macam mana nak merawat. Tadi kita tahu kata sifat manusia tu, kerana ada yang sifat panas, ada yang sifat sejuk, ada yang sifat ini kan, maknanya api, air dengan angin kan. Jadi api itu dia panas dan kering, air itu dia sejuk dan lembab, dan angin itu dia panas dan lembab. Jadi sekarang ni kita tahu bahan ni, kalau manis dia sejuk dan lembab, dia sama dengan air kan. Jadi kalau orang yang dia punya sifat air, kalau kita bagi benda yang sejuk dan lembab, maka dia lagi berair lah kan. Jadi kita nak mengurangkan, kita bagi yang panas dan mengeringkan. Jadi kena makan benda yang pedas lebih kan. So that is how we relate things to apa ni. I think I don't have to go into detail, because you people are very intelligent people who has apa ni kan. So you can figure things out on your own how it is. You're holding the key to this understanding, based on understanding. This is how orang kita belajar dulu. Dia tak ada guna all those formula kita nak fikir, nak ingat apa semua kan. But then there is one conference, international conference on phytochemical. I attended this conference in Lumut last year, and this is going to be implemented this. ICNT kan. Saya cerita pasal the chemistry of temperaments kan. How understanding these temperaments, you can actually look into the range of chemical compounds in this kan. Then you can isolate. Daripada rasa panas, you tahu apa dia, what are the compounds that would have this ability to dry and produce heat kan. And having this sort of knowledge to the phytochemist, it would make life easier for you in terms of zeroing on the active compounds. Kan? That is how I see lah. Bila saya tengok, bila apa ni kan, maknanya there is a paper done by this Iranian punya researchers on the apa ni lah, chemistry of temperaments kan, but dia only look into the heat and the moisture on certain apa ni lah, certain range of compounds from different plants kan. But you can the university, if you have the funds, you can always expand further and look into the local punya apa ni lah, local resources kita ada. So it is only based on taste. Taste is the most important thing in identifying the use. Inilah yang selalu tok guru saya bila masuk hutan, saya tak pernah tanya dia orang pasal apa dia ni. Bila tanya dia ni pokok ni hasil dia apa, dia akan ambil, dia rasa, dan dia baru dia cerita. Dia boleh guna dalam rumah ni macam ni. But mulut ni tak pernah tahu nak tanya. So I don't get that. But it took me some time before I can conclude to come up with this apa ni lah, it's a lot of reading then, and I've always been apa ni lah, a person who likes to read more, to discover on my own rather than being spoon fed kan. Jadi then I understand, and when I understand that, it's easy for me to explain to people. So this is just going through different apa ni lah, mana I will skip this. If you want the slides, you can have it. Jadi daripada itu, maknanya bagi saya lah, I can be anywhere in the world with this knowledge, and I can treat people. Any resources that I have around me. Kan hatta sampai ke tadi Prof Yong kata cerita pasal pokok-pokok, kata ini kapet ni pun saya boleh guna sebagai ubat. The one that you're stepping on, I can also use it sebagai ubat. Jadi saya rasa, apa rasa dia tu, maka bolehlah saya guna. Kalau tak ada sesak-sesak kan, kalau bubuh saya di dalam apa ni, in the desert, if you put me in the desert, I can still be a doctor. I can still treat people just by tasting the different taste in the sand and making use of different types of sand. Sand are the apa ni, elements kan, are the compounds. They are made up of elements kan. Jadi I can make use of kan, anything at all. Tak ada berdoa saja, use a different system to treat kan. Tapi when you have this basic knowledge, you can go anywhere and still be what you are. Jadi semua bahagian tumbuhan berkhasiat, semua bahan-bahan juga berkhasiat. That is what I mean. Jadi tak ada satu benda yang kita tak boleh guna. Cumanya atas kepintaran kita, macam mana kita nak guna. Kalau kita pandai guna, maka kita berjayalah dalam merawat. Kalau kita tak pandai guna, maka the person you are treating will end up on a dialysis machine. So kalau pokok ni dia kata serba 5. Bila dia kata serba 5 tu maknanya bukan serba, kalau kata serba 5 limau. Bukan kita pergi cari 5 jenis limau. Dalam limau tu serba 5, maknanya kita ambil dia punya bunga, kita ambil dia punya biji, kita ambil dia punya buah, kita boleh ambil dia punya akar, kita ambil daun, kita boleh ambil kulit kan. Jadi ambil serba 5 daripada pokok kan. Jadi mana yang biasanya kita ambil bunga, kita ambil kulit, kita ambil daun, kita ambil buah dan kita ambil akar. Itu dia maksudnya serba 5 kan. Jadi semua bahagian pokok dia guna, dan ada bezanya khasiat di antara satu bahagian dengan satu bahagian. Jadi if you do research kan, if you are going to base your research on the manuscript, you have got to understand to take only a certain part of the plant as prescribed in the manuscript rather than taking the whole plant, because it makes a lot of difference. Kan, Kalau dia suruh ambil pucuk, kita ambil pucuk. Kalau dia suruh ambil daun, kita ambil daun. Kalau dia suruh ambil akar, ambil akar. Kalau dia ambil kulit, kita kena tanya, kulit apa? Kulit buah ke, kulit batang ke, ataupun kulit akar. Kan? Jadi kalau dia kata serba kulit, maknanya kita ambil kulit buah, kulit akar dengan kulit batang. Kan? This is how you apply. So you have got to be able to interpret it. So every part of the plant is used in treatment at different times and different. And then dia bukan saja kita ambil ikut suka kita bila-bila masa. Kita ada masa yang kita ambil. The plant is in a dynamic state. Right? It is always changing. It is not the same in the morning than in the afternoon or in the evening or in the middle of the night. Right. Jadi itu yang Prof Zahri kata inconsistent. Pasal dia tak tahu itu. Jadi dia ambil ikut suka dia. Bila dia suruh, when you ask someone to supply you with this one, you have got to specify exactly which part. Daun yang sebelah mana nak ambil. Ada beza dia. Kita ambil pucuk, rasa dia lain. Kita ambil daun yang matang, rasa dia lain. Kita ambil daun tua, rasa dia lain. Khasiat dia lain. Jadi kalau kita nak ambil daun, kita ambil yang pertengahan. Bila kita pegang pokok tu, pegang macam ni, kita buang kepala, kita buang ekor. Kita ambil yang dalam genggam kita. Right. This is things that the scientists should understand and think. Then your whatever research you do will be always reproducible. What is important is reproducibility of your research. So if you don't know these things, you will start scratching your head because why is it hari ini tak dapat, semalam ada, hari ini tak ada. Itu yang berlaku kepada pokok bintago. Yang was it the Americans were looking into the anti-HIV punya activity in Bintago in apa ni? When they run out of the raw material, they went to Sarawak to get apa ni? Orang kampung dah tebang pokok ni. Jadi maka pokok tu tak ada dah. Dia pergi cari pokok yang sama, tak ada aktiviti. Jadi pokok tu yang matang hidup di situ ada the anti-retroviral punya aktiviti. But pokok bintago yang sama di tempat lain tak ada. Just like in pokok pegaga in Ceylon, dia tak ada aceticoside. Other parts of the world dia ada aceticosides, but then in Ceylon tak ada. In Sri Lanka tak ada aceticoside. So there are many things that affects the content of the phytochemicals in the plant. So these are things that you have got to really know if you want to make sure that your research is always giving you the same result. So bila kita nak buat ubat, kita kena mula tahu pesakit tu. So we classify the pesakit in this term, which modern medicine does not teach us actually. Kan? Jadi I said to people that I have reached a point where a person walks in front of me, I can basically tell what is wrong with them. But I will not tell people because of ethical punya pendidikan. Maksudnya saya tak ada pergi situ, saya tahu pendidikan bukan ni dia sakit macam ni. But it is through experience. But this one is through learning, understanding the body shape and relating it to the different elements in the body. Maknanya kita kenal pesakit, lepas tu kita kena kenal penyakit. Kenal sepenuh-penuhnya penyakit tu. Bukan sekadar tahu kata, oh ini orang ni ada diabetes. But what is the extent of the diabetes, we have got to know. If there is any complication, we have got to know. Whether the treatment that we are giving will have to cover everything that the person has, we have got to know. So we have got to know everything about the person and everything about penyakit dia sebelum kita nak fikir buat ubat. And then kita pilih rawatan yang terbaik. Mana you cannot say that, oh, my system is the best, so I will not use the other system. But it is the right of the patient to decide what type of system dia nak guna. But it would be a lot better if a person who treats knows or understand a little bit of all the systems so that dia boleh give the proper advice to the patient. Kan, there are certain times that you cannot treat with just medication. You have got to get the person to go for massage, for example, ataupun bekam, ataupun acupuncture to enhance the treatment, ataupun guna stem cells, right? To treat. We have got to know all the resources available so that we work towards giving a complete cure to the patient. Dah dikatakan maknanya dia ada penyakit yang tak ada ubatnya selainkan daripada mati. Mati bukan penyakit, it is part of growing up. So bila kita nak guna herba sebagai perubatan, kita kena kenal pokok atau bahan yang hendak diguna. Kenal bukan sekadar apa ni, there are certain plants that look the same, and then other people make mistakes in that. One day I was on Penang Hill writing a book for Penang Hill, so I turn and see, rupanya dia ambil pokok yang tak kena, salah, and that pokok is poisonous. Nah, jadi kawan tu dah bubur dalam mulut dah. And I said, oh, that's the wrong plant. Saya kata, ini pokok yang you terasa. Ini jangan sekali-kali because it's poisonous. Kan? So it is very important for you to know, to recognize. And as researchers, I have come to understand some of the researchers don't even know the plants. So bila you tak tahu, orang bagi pokok tu, you assume aja benda tu ya. Kan? Jadi bila your results doesn't appear as what you predict it to be, then you kata, karut lah, ini but it's because of your ignorance. So to do herbal research, you have got to know botany, and you have got to know and be able to identify the plant right. And then the quality and the quantity. Saya diajar, bila kita nak ambil, kita jangan ambil kesemua. Kita ambil sekadar yang kita nak guna. Jangan berlebihan kerana kita kena ingat anak cucu. Dan kita jangan sekali-kali ambil pokok yang dah matang, pasal dia akan beranak. Bila pokok yang dah matang, dia akan berbunga dan dia akan berbuah dan dia akan sambung zuriatnya. Jadi jangan kita ambil pokok yang matang. Itu yang jadi pada pokok bintago tu, ditebangnya pokok besar tu, maka tak adalah lagi pokok bintago tumbuh kat kawasan tu, kan? So these are things that orang kita prihatin. Tapi kita as orang sekarang ni, because we think of money, bila kita nampak, kita ambil kesemuanya. Jadi kita tamak pada tu, kita tak fikir masa depan, kan? Jadi that is the quantity. The quality is always pilih yang segar, yang sihat. Dan Tok Guru saya kata yang tak ada cacat celanya. Ambil yang tak ada cacat celanya. Kalau ada makan belalang tu, jangan ambil. Pokok tu dah tak berguna. Ada cacat cela dia, jadi tak berguna. Jadi khasiat dia kurang. Because it is already injured, so dia punya metabolites are different. Because it is protecting itself against further injury, so it is producing something different from pokok bahan yang tak penuh. Jadi kita ambil yang that is looking at the quality. So you have got to come up with a method where you don't need to take 1 kilogram of leaves. Saya arwah dia, Prof. Fatimah Syam ke Faridah Syam? Fatimah Syam tu. from University Malaya. She came to my place. She said, I want 5 grams of the leaves that you have in your garden. Of every plant that you have in your garden, then 5 grams saja. Because she can do the full chemical profiling of these leaves using just 5 grams of dry leaves. So we collected, but we were not good at preserving. So bila dia dapat semua dah laden with fungus apa semua ni kan, dia hantar pergi ke Turkey to do it. So maybe we should look into not wasting these things and making use of these minimum methods of pendidikan, so we can do more with less. Kan, ya? Jadi the quantity and quality makes difference, and then cara proses pun makes a lot of difference. Cara mengguna pun makes a lot of difference, and jangka masa rawatan pun makes a lot of difference in the whole treatment process. Ini semua diambil kira dalam ilmu perubatan Melayu. Tadi saya apa ni? This one all are empty blanks. This is part of a presentation I gave to many other people. So they all ambil one, so they fill in the blanks. Kan? Nanti kita kena pokok, dan saya dah cerita dah pasal macam mana nak kena pokok dan sebagai sumber ubat. Kan? Mana you understand the taste and you understand the properties of these plants, and then this is how you put it. And when you talk in terms of quality also, is through the taste. Orang dulu-dulu dia nak buat ubat, dia guna lidah dia untuk merasa supaya macam kita masak, cukup ke garamnya, cukup ke rempah dia, cukup ke asam dia, kan? Jadi dalam membuat ubat pun sama juga, cukup ke pahit dia, cukup ke masam dia, cukup ke kelat dia. Jadi kalau tak cukup baru dia tambah sikit. Tapi as a rule of thumb, it is all the same amount. Orang Melayu dia tak pakai timbang. Pasal kalau kita ambil timbang, kalau kita kata sama timbangnya, satu timbang halia dengan satu timbang cengkeh, tak sama banyak dia. Kan? Halia berat, jadi satu timbang kata satu gram of halia will be as a small bit. Tapi 1 gram cengkeh will be maybe 2-3 keping. Katalah example lah kan, but it's not demikian. But dia tak sama banyak dia. Nah, jadi kita guna banyak dia. Jadi kita panggil jemput ke, genggam ke, kan, seling ke, ataupun satu cupak ke. It's always volume rather than weight, because they take into consideration the difference in weights of the different compounds. That is the quantity, and then the quality tadi I've already actually explained a lot of it. Cara memproses dia ni banyak beza-beza dia. Bila saya cerita pasal cara proses, saya cerita pasal isteri saya buat seri muka. You see, pasal when we invited Tun Mahathir to come to our house, she wanted to make seri muka for him. Kita tak tahu dia suka pun, but she wants to. So she has been experimenting on that for many days before the great event. So dia tumbuk, dia buat. Kalau tak cantik lah, dia tumbuk lagi, dia buat. Sampai she gets the colour that she wants, because dia tumbuk different degree of pounding. Tumbuk tu memberi colour yang lain. Jadi, it tells me that the processing has got to be precise. How much fineness that you want out of it. It is not as simple as putting in the blender, tekan the button and go in, and you get everything there. Because that will be the worst thing to do for these things. You're not respecting the plant to their value as medicine. Okay? So, it is different texture, different strength. Dia ada beza antara tumbuk dengan giling, ada beza antara tumbuk, giling dan pipis, kan? Ada beza antara titik, tumbuk giling, dan pipis. All these things make a lot of difference in the processing. So if you understand these differences, then you can have your medicine being consistently consistent, and your research to be consistently consistent all the time. Jangka masa rawatan orang Melayu, dia tak bagi makan seumur hidup. But dia ada satu old lady yang kami pergi jumpa dekat satu tempat nama Pekarangan di Kedah. Dia kata, tanya dia, ni makan ubat ni makan lama mana? Dia kata, kalau ubat kita makan bila kita sakit. Kalau dah tak sakit, nak makan buat apa? Tak payah makan lah. Kita makanlah nasi, kita makan makanan lain untuk apa ni, jaga kesihatan. Bukannya kita makan ubat nak jaga kesihatan. Ubat untuk sakit. That is what it is. So in the manuscript, habis lama is 2 weeks. Dia jangka masa dalam masa 2 minggu ataupun 40 hari, tak silap saya. Biasanya 3 hari saja. And that is what the normal practice. So you go and see your doctor also is 3 days. Kita bagi 3 days medication, so that we can come back and review. Kan sama lah juga dia. Kalau dia bagi after 3 days, then dah lega, Alhamdulillah. Kalau tak lega, dia sebagai lagi lah. Ini ada ubat lagi, alternatif dia, sampai dia boleh lega. Ultimate dia is to make dia open. So jangka masa tu bukan macam kita sekarang ni makan selama-lamanya, makan suplemen selama-lamanya. Kan itu orang nak buat duit. Jadi jika betul kita punya rawatan, maka selamatlah orang tu. Jika tidak, kita kaya, orang menderita. Kita bawa Audi ke, kita bawa Bentley ke, pesakit kita bawa hemodialysis machine, and orang bawa dia pula. This is the effects of having no knowledge in the art of making medicine. And this is what is happening to our world today. In the world of internet, information is at the click of your mouse. So everybody learns about everything. So everybody are expert in everything. Jadi kita yang pergi belajar 6 tahun, bekerja berpuluh tahun, jadi orang bodoh. Diamlah kami. Tak ada apa. But you remember, it is not the medicine that heals the person. It is the person who gives the medicine that heals the person. If that is what we can remember, that then selamatlah kita. It is the experience that is more important than the knowledge that you have about the medicine itself. Jadi you can have all the knowledge about one particular thing, but you are not able to apply your knowledge that you have acquired or you have gathered over the years in the field of research is beneficial to us, people like me, because at the end of the day, we are the ones who are going to use the result of your research. If you can explain to us exactly what your research can do, and it is safe and effective, you give it to us, and we will make use of it to use in our treatment. This is what we do. We are in the better position to assess. We are in the better position to make a diagnosis. We are in the better position to monitor. You can give but then you cannot monitor, or you don't know what to monitor. If you give a diabetic a tablet that can bring down the blood sugar level, is that all you monitor? We don't monitor just the blood sugar level, we monitor other parameters, other biomarkers in the body to make sure that this treatment is right, so that we can use it. Otherwise, this is what is going to happen. And this is what is happened. I did not want to put the graph on the rise in the number of people who are waiting in line to be on the dialysis machine. Ada yang menyumpah, matilah dia tu, so that I will be on the slot. Jadi maknanya ini akibat dia. Bila kita tak cukup ilmu untuk mengguna, kita mengguna dan kita bagi, dan kita badmouth other people, say apa ni. So I never do that. Tak ada satu ubat yang tak berguna, dan tak ada satu penyakit yang kita tak boleh merawat. Tapi kita kena ada cukup ilmu untuk membuat dia, memberi rawatan yang sempurna. Jadi ini adalah harapan saya lah, mana kita tingkatkan dan perkasakan amalan perubatan Melayu supaya orang mempercayai. Jadi maknanya kalau kita nak meningkatkan, tadi I already told you lah how kita nak meningkatkan, dan perkukuhkan ilmu secukup-cukupnya supaya kita boleh mengguna dengan sempurna, sentiasa bersikap bertanggungjawab. Many people don't have that. Mana ethics and responsibility is the ultimate importance in the art of making medicine. Kita kena ada responsibility. Kalau apa-apa berlaku, kita boleh undo it, and we can undo our mistakes. That is why it is not easy to catch a doctor making mistakes, because the moment we make mistakes, we know how to undo it. Kan? Kalau kata, I'm not a surgeon, I was trained as a surgeon. Kan? Bila kita tersilap potong satu urat, it can mean a lot of problem to the patient. Jadi we have got to undo it immediately so that it will not be detrimental to the patient. So we are always aware of all these things. So undoing the mistakes that we do is not present in people who don't understand the whole process. Dan kemajuan pesakit yang dirawat selalu diawasi. Kita continuously look at the progress of the patient, monitor them. And we have the facilities to do that. And we know exactly what we are doing, we know exactly what we are looking for as the indicators of the progress. And then bila kita ada buat kesilapan ataupun kita kurang arif dalam satu-satu, kita refer kepada orang tertentu. That is where the GPs like me refer to the consultants in the hospital. Jadi kita tahu semua penyakit, kita tahu merawat semua penyakit, but there are certain times that kita merawat tak berjaya, dan kita kena refer to the things that we have missed in our diagnosis. Then we go and see the pakar yang dalam bidang itu untuk cuba mengatasi kelemahan kita. And we have got to admit that we are wrong, and always admit to the person that we think we are wrong. This is how kita practice lah. Mana saya, at least I do that. When I make a mistake, I will own up to the patient and say, yes, I have made a mistake, and this is how I'm going to correct the mistake, and this is how we are going to look at in the progress of the patient. So responsibility is what we are bound to. Right? Saya rasa tak kata saja lah.